Moving to Costa Rica, gonna live in Costa Rica, you're probably gonna get your residency. And if you're gonna get your residency, you're gonna have to pay, and you're probably going to pay into the CAJA, which is the socialized medicine here, the healthcare system here. I am going through the process right now, and I want to talk to you guys about it. Super important if you're going to live here and pay into the CAJA and all that, and use the CAJA. We're going to get to it in about 45 seconds. Guys, I'm Michael Allen, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. My new website's up, not quite where I want it, still tweaking, but it's about 90%. All my contacts are on there, import, export guy. Click, you fill out a form, and it goes right there. Medical, dental, residency lawyers, all my contacts, all my people that I would trust my mom with are on that site. The rental car, the 4-minute form, if you want to do your vacation, all the stuff's on. You might want to check it out. It's not quite done, but it's close. If you want to show some love, show appreciation of 16 years and over 1,000 videos of living and traveling in Costa Rica, it's a fun way to donate is buy me a coffee. I appreciate you guys doing it, man. A lot of you guys have been super nice to me. You buy me a coffee, it's you can buy me one. Each coffee's $5 basically. And I've gotten a lot of 5, 10, 20, actually gotten 20, you know, so people, you know, I like a lot of coffee, but I know I definitely appreciate you guys showing appreciation. It's super cool to wake up in the morning and on Gmail see, you know, Steve or Lori bought me such and such, and they say, oh, thanks for the videos. It's kind of cool. But anyway, that link's in the description. Yeah, the relocation retreat's coming up, filling up fast. Costa Rica's on your radar. Doesn't have to be, but if it is, not quite sure, the relocation retreat might be for you. The contacts are worth the price of admission. We have a great time, half vacation, info, the whole thing, man. Anyway, all that information is in the link in the description. I would love to, below. I would love to see you there. We have a great time. So, why am I in my car? If you're going to navigate, if you're going to start the process of getting into the CAJA, you're probably going to be in your car a lot. So I decided, hey, I've been in my car a lot during this process, so let's film from there. That's interesting. All right, let's start from the beginning. Okay, if you're going to be, you know, become a resident, you have to pay into the CAJA. Now, first of all, what's the CAJA? The socialized medicine here. It's the healthcare system. You're paying into that normally. Now, somebody on a video a couple weeks ago, whenever it was, said, you don't have to pay into the CAJA. That's technically right. You don't really. But if something happens to you and you find yourself in the healthcare system in a kind of an emergency situation, if you haven't paid in for 3 years, guess what you're going to have to do before they're, you know, working with you? You're going to have to make that payment of 3 years and catch up. All right. Now, technically, you don't have to pay into it. I see that, but I think it's a shit move because you're moving into another country. So think of it like this. Let's say you don't use it or don't want to use it. Maybe just pay and think, hey man, I'm helping some locals. I'm helping the locals or helping the system, whatever it is, but not paying into it. Yeah, you don't have to. I personally, then do you, but I think it's a shit move actually, but whatever. So anyway, but technically correct. Now I would give this, I'm gonna walk through the process that I've been going through, you know, in the last month or so, whatever, how long it's been. And I would say whether you're young or old, and you're going to live in Costa Rica and you are going to become a resident, I think you should think about getting yourself registered into the process. Now, I probably wouldn't have listened to that advice, and I barely listen to it now. It took me forever, just till now, till I said, I got to get my shit together. I got to get my blood work. I got to see what's going on with me. You know, I am old, so I got to do all that. And I decided, it wasn't a New Year's resolution, it just happened to be this time of the year. I said, I got to do these things. I want blood work. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I wouldn't have listened to myself. I'm just saying I would start the process whether you are young or old. Now, my Spanish is legendary. It's bad. That's what I was gonna say. You know, so I had my good friend and fellow relocation retreat speaker, the medical dental tourism Johnny. You guys have seen videos of him. He He handheld me. He's the one that does your stem cell stuff, your hip replacement, gets you to fix your grill and stuff, helps you navigate that whole thing. If you're coming from the States to do medical dental tourism, he's that guy. Well, he's a good friend of mine, and he took my hand, and I followed along like a 5-year-old. If you know Spanish, you can definitely navigate it, but I mean, yeah, if you know Spanish, I mean, you can ask directions to the hospital and get to where you want to go. Now, if your Spanish is mediocre, I would say you probably should take a friend because, I mean, obviously there's Google Translator, there's all that stuff. But if you have a friend there, I mean, some doctors, nurses speak English. A lot of them don't. You don't know. It's not like you can, I request. You're in the CAJA. We're not talking private. We're talking socialized medicine. You don't really go, I want an English-speaking doctor. I had some. But anyway, so a friend who can, no words are confused. I don't want, you do know a little bit of Spanish and think you can navigate it, or maybe you're not understanding exactly what's being said by the doctor. I'm not sure if you want to misunderstand those things. So anyway, I would have somebody with you if your Spanish is just mediocre. It is tough to navigate. So, all right, so now what do you have to do? So you're paying into the CAJA. So what? That's easy. Just pay. There's a monthly thing. You pay into it. But how do you get registered in? Now, how do you get your name actually in the system? So like I said, I decided to do this. Now, wherever you live, it's really based on your address. I want you to just think of this as a clinic, but they're not really clinics. It's called this. I don't know if this is going to show up right because this camera turns everything around. So hopefully I wrote it right. It's capital E-B-A-I-S. I think it's pronounced Evice or something, Evice, something like that. But think of it as like a clinic in the area you are. So wherever your address is, and you sign up. So you go to that place that you kind of assigned to, or they'll let you know where you need to be. I'm actually using Ciudad Quesada, so I'm actually using another address. I'm not using La Fortuna, although ironically and just coincidentally, La Fortuna has a huge one. It looks like a hospital. It's not. It looks like a hospital. It's going to open in about 2 weeks. So, and I'll probably maybe change my location at some point to go to this one. It looks super modern. They're going to have a grand opening soon. But anyway, it's based on your address. And you go in, and you're probably going to download an app. They pass all the information through the app, so they can help you download the app. You're going to see a doctor. Now, don't judge me, all right? But I've lived here long enough to know. If I go in there and go, I have my nose is sniffling and I feel like I have a cold. All right, I might be seen by doctors 20 years from now or whatever. I wanted to get blood work done. I wanted to get some things done, like some heart stuff. So I might have been a little dramatic in what was going on with me because I wanted to make sure, because they actually do on the piece of paper, it says priority and like not priority. I wanted to make sure I was priority because I didn't want to see the doctor in 17 years. I want to see it in a timely manner, which is still probably a couple weeks away. So you go into the doctor, you get all that nursing, blood pressure-y stuff, you do all that kind of stuff. And I told him all my problems. We're going over it with Johnny. This guy actually did speak decent English, which was nice. But so they give you, so I had to go get the whole blood test stuff. I did the urine, stool sample things, and that's it. Obviously, at another place, you get a little thing to take, go to the hospital for that. Then you bring it, it goes back, and then you get called in again, and they go over all your things. And then, depending on what's wrong or what you're saying the problem is, there could be different doctors, a cardiologist, an internist, or whatever it is. And the doctor at this place writes different papers that you have to take to the hospital now and make your appointments. But it's weird. Now, I got to say, it is a lot of ridiculous jumping through hoops that make almost no sense. It is red tape. It could definitely be seamless. There's things you're doing in there like, hey, we could have combined these two things very easily. I'm not sure why we're doing it that way. So a couple, it doesn't even make sense a little bit. So you're doing a lot of going here to get this paper, taking that paper over there and getting it signed, taking the signed paper back. Now you go to another place that makes an appointment, and then they give you an appointment date, and that's the date, and then you go see another doctor at the hospital. Then they might suggest, oh, well, we can't do that here. Now, next thing you know, you have a doctor and you've got to go to San Jose. It's like, I'm just saying, there's a lot of hoops that you're going through to get your appointment, to be seen. And it was just funny. I mean, I got to tell you, we're at the hospital, and Johnny, seriously, we got to go over here. And then there were mistakes made. We had to redo some things, not our mistakes. God bless them. God bless them. But I do want to tell you one thing. I mean, okay, that's the process. The process is kind of shitty and a little bit ridiculous. You'd be like, oh my God, I could fix this. And I think they actually make the process like this on purpose, to be honest with you. I think they try to slow the process, but it ends up backfiring, because at the end it ends up being bottlenecked at the end anyway to see the doctor and that kind of thing. But I do think the process might be there to try to slow things down a little bit, or make people not go to the appointments. And I don't know, that's what I think. So the process is, what it is. But the doctors and the nurses are great. So I don't want to say that the actual appointments with the doctor, the nurses' interactions, their personalities and stuff, all that's been great. So that's been cool. The process is rough. Now, the reason you want to do this is, what you don't want to do is, let's say you're paying into the CAJA and now you have more of an emergency. If your Spanish isn't quite good, or you're not quite sure, that's going to create a whole new stressor, because you're going to be doing all this. This is why I think you should go through this once, even if it's on a little thing like getting blood tests or seeing one doctor. Do something so you can kind of see how it works, so you're not stressed when you actually have to go through it. Because if your loved one, or your wife, or your husband, or you've got blood gushing from your ears or something, and you're like, you don't know what to do, that's the stress. That can be super stressful. So that's why I'm kind of saying that you should probably get into the system. Go to this place, talk to the doctor, get your blood work. Oh, I got this, and make up something if you have to, so you can lay the groundwork, so the next time you come in, they have your records, they got your blood pressure, they know. Because it doesn't matter what you had happening on in the States. It doesn't matter. Anything you say you have, they're going to redo. They don't. Well, I got type 2 diabetes. Well, they don't. It's not that they don't believe you, but to get in the system, you're going to have to go through all that stuff to make sure from Costa Rica you got type 2 diabetes, or whatever it is. So I'm just saying, I'm going through it. It's kind of, matter of fact, going tomorrow. But I would recommend it. Don't be like me. I waited way too long for this. And I would like to hear anybody that that's been living here for any length of time. Maybe you've used the CAJA. Please share. Please, maybe I got something wrong. Maybe they don't do it like this with everybody, although they do. But I love your guys' comments. It's very, very helpful when you guys say, well, that was Michael's experience. This is what happened to me. And I don't care if you view it as negative. I can tell you what I don't like. I like good, solid feedback. I don't like just overgeneralizations. The hospital sucks type stuff. I mean, that doesn't help anybody. If you want to share your experience and it wasn't very good, that's fine. But let's kind of be more, just state the facts. Anyway, but I love your guys' comments. It helps all kinds of people. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. If you're going to live in Costa Rica, consider getting into the system and at least seeing how it works. It's super important, especially if something really comes up. I'm sure I missed a few things. It's a big topic. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Allen, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. My videos are going to pop up probably here and here. But if you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, you should always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, I would say check that out or that out. Peace.